Justice League issue 7 sees Lex Luthor remember Vandal Savage's origin and how he was once a protector of Earth, all before the meteor came and made him an enemy of man, as what he knew would have been the doom of everyone. Luthor continues to fight Hawkgirl, who manages to follow him into the Totality and attack. Lex's doorknob won't work on Kendra, however, since she is somehow tied to the Totality. The two go back and forth from almost touching the center and continuing to fight. Lex, however, says he's taking the Totality as it calls to him and he can hear something from inside it. Back in Umbrax, the Earth has become a White Lantern, much to the amazement of the Justice League. John says it makes sense since Manhunter's abilities reached so many of the population. It is showing them they are all connected and fighting as one and using their strengths and weaknesses together. Barry, meanwhile, tries to continue to access the Still Force so he can start expanding the universe again and close the door to Umbrax. John knows that he can do it and says Barry is the opposite of him, as Barry never stops moving and slowing down is about letting go and seeing things he might not want to. Sinestro intercepts John, smashing up his Speed Force car and attacking him with Hal Jordan constructs while telling John he has doomed millions. Superman notices that Umbrax's planets are beginning to power up and will fire on Earth. Cyborg tells him that he can't do anything in his weakened state, but that doesn't stop the Man of Steel from trying to stop them. Cyborg says the energy the planets are firing will either enslave the Earth or destabilize the core and destroy it. Flash finally breaks into the Still Force and sees something, but then loses his grip on the Still Force as Manta's sub begins firing on the base again. Aquaman races off into the ocean to confront him and call in some sea life for some help. As Wonder Woman plugs the hole Arthur left when he disembarked from the base, she tells Barry to block out his fears and see the worst possibilities so he can tell them what it is and be their messenger. A Megalodon attacks Manta's sub as Lex is impaled by Hawkgirl, stopping him from grabbing the Totality. Superman meanwhile begins to die as a result from him blocking Umbrax's energy. All of the heroes tell Flash that he can do it, and he does, entering the Still Force and seeing the secret machinery of the universe and the plan of the universe that never happened thanks to something dark, something that is possibly related to humans. He begins to feel what Vandal Savage felt years ago and tries to hide from it, but Barry pushes on and Umbrax disappears and the universe reverts back to normal. Sinestro's hold on the ultraviolet power begins to fade, as does his hold on John, who drops a building construct on the villain thanks to his returned Green Lantern ring. Hawkgirl touches the Totality, and in a flash of light, Lex is transported back to the Legion of Doom hideout where Joker is. He orders Joker to make the Legion retreat, and the villains are all teleported back to the Legion of Doom headquarters as Superman finds the skies above Earth clear. As they make fun of Batman's voice again, Kendra grabs the orb at the center of what was once the Totality. Taking it to the League, they discover it to be one of the oldest living power sources from which reality was sculpted from before it was sealed in the Source Wall. Manhunter hopes that it also points them to who built the multiverse, since it is currently dying and they will need to try and heal the breach with the power. Manhunter tells the gathered heroes also that the fate of the universe and multiverse is at stake and they must unlock the answers before the Legion of Doom can and win. Afterwards, John, Kendra and Barry meet in the Hall of Justice, and Barry apologizes for his reaction to when Kendra was put on the Totality team, since he is used to being the science guy of the team. Barry says that everything that has happened is like one big design, and when he felt it, it was angry. Manhunter returns, saying that he needs to go to Thanagar Prime again to find some answers in one of their archives, and wants John and Kendra to accompany him. He also forgives John for what happened on Anchi long ago, and the two make amends. Superman arrives and tells John that if they ever enter the psychic boardroom again like they did at the beginning of this crisis, all the votes would still be the same, including John's. He says they chose John to lead the team because he is a man of empathy, and it's about sharing their fears and weaknesses, which is what led to the White Lantern light taking over the Earth. Manhunter wonders if they are the villains and the ones holding everything back, and what does the Justice League do if it's on the wrong side. Arthur and Diana meanwhile talk about the base they found and the obvious connection between the Amazonians and the Atlanteans inside the base, and what Cheetah and Manta wanted within it. As they talk about what's to come, there is a loud boom tube noise, and rushing to the others, they find that Starman has arrived from the past, and he has all answers they seek, but to learn them, 3 heroes must die. Lex meanwhile is angered at his defeat at the hands of the Justice League, snapping Vandal's cane before going deeper into the base, talking to the Batman who laughs, and telling the villain that he does indeed need his help after all. Justice League issue 7 saw the huge Totality story come to a pretty satisfying conclusion as our heroes win the day and learn something big is happening to not just their universe but the multiverse, and they are a big part of it. Just when I thought the book couldn't get any bigger, it goes and does it. Just the grand scope of this story is absolutely huge, and I applaud Scott Snyder for keeping it all pretty much coherent and understandable. Although I feel larger concepts that new DC readers aren't familiar with might confuse them, and this isn't a Justice League you could really just jump into as your first Justice League. You need a little bit of prehistory to know what some people are talking about here. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the Batman who laughs is incorporated into this story and what's next for the team now that Starman has made an appearance from the past. I'm going to give this issue an 8.5 out of 10.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching my newest video. If you enjoyed it, you might also like to check out my other reviews here on my channel. You can also follow me on various social media platforms like Twitter by searching Matt_FOS, or even join the Comic Multiverse Discord server and chat with other comic book fans, including myself and Joel from Cape Joel. Want cheap comics and trades? Head over to the book depository with the link in the description to get the cheapest trades and comics around, along with free shipping anywhere in the world. Until next time, this has been Matt of the Fortress of Solitude. Thank you so much for watching.